Hello and welcome to Rose Guns Days Thursday. Uh, Thank you for the save reminder, but I have nothing to save right now. Um, wow, that was a smooth intro. I'm not used to those. I don't know what to say. Well, smooth intro, gone, busted, destroyed. Hi, hello, welcome to the show. It's been a little bit because last week there was a heat wave, and it was real bad. It actually got worse after Thursday. It was sweltering, and yeah, it was like 28 degrees indoors while it was 18 degrees outside at some point. So that was weird. That was an experience. Sadly, I can't just like go sleep outside because my balcony doesn't have a lot of space. Yeah, it was crazy. So I decided to be smart and not stream like an adult, even though I wanted to, because wow, 2 weeks ago was a cliffhanger. Wow, what a cliffhanger! Hey, so I'm jazzed for today's episode because it's gonna be, well, it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be a good one. They're always good, but man, I guess that's one upside to a heat wave is your laundry dries really quickly. But yeah, I'm glad we're back in like normal temperature zones. And, the washing took longer. Oh no. Yeah, I'm glad I can like process my own thoughts again because I'm not baking. So, reading is gonna make it's gonna be a lot easier thanks to the lack of a fucking heat wave. I cannot begin to overstate how horrible it was last week. But I won't. I'm gonna change the subject because I forgot to put my content warning timer on. So let me just very professional stream. I mean, usually it is, but not today. Oh well. Here is our content warning for this game. Violence and gun violence, sexual content including references to assault, misogyny, alcohol abuse. I've not played this game before. I have been playing it, obviously, but I don't know what's coming up, so I cannot warn you about any more specific content warnings beforehand. If any of this stuff worries you, but you still want to experience the story, go to my YouTube page, site, channel, that's what they're called, channel, where I will be adding more descriptive and detailed content warnings, plus timestamps to skip the scenes in question after the fact when I upload the VOD, so that you know what's coming up. Yeah, it's called Rose Guns Days because the main character is called Rose, and there are lots of guns. At least I assume. Maybe there's like more relevant stuff coming up. Who knows? I don't. But yeah, it just dawned on you. Well, it is a bit word salady, you know, so that's fair. I don't think that's unreasonable. Alright. So last time, like I already kind of outright mentioned a couple times, Last time we ended up with a huge cliffhanger. But I'm gonna go back to the beginning of last time and just run us through a little recap. I have it written down this time, hell yeah, I'm prepared. So what happened was, Caleb went to hand over the money. He ended up only bringing half, and then promising to bring the other half once the Americans prove that they'll stick to this deal that they have. Butler and the American occupying forces go through with their assassination attempt, but end up being thwarted by the military police, who thought that the guys with machine guns' car looked suspicious. Which, frankly, is very fair. Good on them for doing their job, I guess. Not so good that they ended up thwarting this assassination attempt by their colleagues, I guess, because the military usually hates. Anyway, it went real bad. Caleb got shot, but he's probably gonna be fine. And he went underground as a result. So he hid, took most of his goons with him, I assume, and they are in hiding right now. From there, his next step is to threaten Rose, telling her to go to the docks alone or Wayne and Claudia die, because remember, they're still being kept as hostages. Meanwhile, Meiju has slowly been egging Rose on to make a move against Caleb. But like, he's just been saying like, oh, you know, you need to become a dragon, or you know, step up for your people, that kind of stuff. It's just been slowly mentioning that, and then kind of amping it up, you know? And then he gives her a gun, and she's been training with Leo, so she knows how to use one of those now. Plus, a ring with a small needle in it, and enough poison to kill a grown man. So that's 2 murder weapons potentially right there. He basically tells her to go kill Caleb without saying, hey, go kill Caleb. So she does what Caleb wants. She goes there alone to the docks, where she's met with, greeted by Miguel and a bunch of goons. Then Miguel and Rose have a bit of a verbal standoff of sorts, which results in Rose's plan not being revealed, but she has to discard her weapons in the process, including the ring. She's basically empty-handed at this point. Things are not looking good. In the meantime, Amanda proves to us that she's better than we all gave her credit for, and gives Wayne and Claudia the chance to escape, subtly, allowing them to swoop in to rescue Rose. However, just as the gang tries to escape, a grenade is thrown near Wayne and Claudia, blowing up the car that they're hiding behind. And potentially them as well. We don't know yet. All signs point to yes, they blew up. I refuse to believe. Because that would be miserable, and we do know that Wayne, or someone who acts like Wayne, is called Wayne, if I recall correctly. But hey, who knows, maybe he had like a little Wayne Jr. running around. But there is another Wayne alive in the future. So, Mad Dog Wayne, I mean, it's not, he's probably alright. Claudia though, if they hurt Claudia, I will riot. But we're gonna find out today, hopefully, if they're alright. Miguel and his goons are forced to flee after this explosion because it draws the attention of the police, and again, they're lying low. Which means that Rose is left behind, alone. And that's where we ended last time's episode, on that lovely upbeat note. So, yeah. That was very, not upsetting at all. And great fun. This is why there are content warnings. This is it's an intense story with serious subjects. Not to say that wholesome stuff can't be serious, but you know what I mean. It was a great episode though, I really had a good time. And that's why I'm really glad. Hold up. I lost my ability to speak. That's why I'm glad to be back this time. There we go. I remembered how to say words. Aw, yeah. Okay, so last time was this one, I think. Oh god. Yep, that was definitely this one. Because this is where we ended off last time. Rose, alone, a burning car behind her, and her friends most likely dead. And her just going, I have to become a dragon. Is 3D printing good enough yet that we can swap out a set of vocal cords? No. I wish. That wasn't even my vocal cords' fault, that was just my brain being like, I'm gonna say everything at once now, which is obviously impossible, so I loved it badly. Wait, I can just go to next. It's, even if I had perfect vocal cords, I would still not be safe from my own brain. Are we ever safe from our own brains? Are any of us ever safe from our own brains? I think not. Black Desert Eagle 1947. Hell yeah. Chapter 7. The Night of Legend. What does that mean? Your brain constantly talks? Same. My mouth cannot keep up, so that's why sometimes I completely fuck up on sentences. It's a condition. Alright. This hotel had absolutely nothing to brag about. There was no air conditioning. It was hot, stuffy, damp, and you'd stay sweaty no matter how much you wiped it off. I'm so glad I didn't read this last week. Throw in the smell and the lack of any interior decorating, and anyone would want to check out right away. Unfortunately, the biggest problem with this concrete hotel is that none of the guests were allowed to check out. When some policemen appeared in the hallway, hands stretched out of the barred windows here and there, and people muttered with discontent. It's just jail. It's just jail. You could check out, but you can never leave, yeah. Hotel California for sure. Though I guess it depends on your crimes. Hey officer, what am I supposed to have done? Why was I the only one arrested? That American's the one who started the fight. Oh good, we have some slurs incoming. Shut up, Jap. The pits. The stink here is bad enough to curl your nostrils. Hitting the arms that stretched from behind the bars with their nightsticks, the policeman headed deeper in. Here we are. Now get the hell out of here. Your boyfriend's come to get you. In the dimness of the innermost cell, Rose crouched, holding her legs. The policeman said something and led Rose out, but she was beyond noticing. The moment that Wayne and Claudia had been swallowed by the crimson inferno that night was still burned into her eyes. Because I didn't take personal responsibility for the ideals I spoke of, everyone will be sacrificed. At this rate, it won't stop at Wayne-kun and Claudia. Many, many more of them will be sacrificed, one after another. I have to get my hands dirty. I have to become a dragon. That's not who I suspected would show up, I'll be honest. I'm trying to remember his voice, which is funny because he's like the most like he's the closest to my own voice, and that just makes it more confusing for me. God, I hope he's here to bail her out. He better be. Instead of just being like, hey, and then piecing out. Rose-chan. Captain. The person waiting for her in what seemed to be a drawing room was Butler. Your bingo card is ready? Oh no. Maybe he'll behave for once. This is a serious situation after all. When he gave a gesture indicating that it was okay to go, the policeman left. I didn't want to have to meet you in the clink. Well, at any rate, I'm glad you're safe. Those words felt deeply ironic to Rose now. Sure, she was safe. However, that happened because her friends had become human sacrifices. If I'd been prepared to dirty my hands sooner, no one would have to be sad. I won't ask what happened at the pier. It really is sad. I used to like City 23. It was somehow peaceful at this eastern tip of the world, unlike some frantic, bustling metropolis. But what about now? Thanks to a single man, everything's been ravaged. It's my fault for not having the resolve needed to stop Caleb-san. There's no helping it. The opponent was an unfortunate match. Our higher-ups also miscalculated Caleb. Their clumsy greed ended up costing them a lot. By now, Caleb's a wounded tiger. Now he's the same as a bomb with the fuse lit. Since the time Caleb was attacked in front of the occupying forces' headquarters, he had grown extremely cautious. He had hidden somewhere in the city, and it seemed only a small group of his inner circle even knew where he was. To the American higher-ups, who had wanted to wring a lot of money out of Caleb, he was now little more than a troublemaker they wanted eliminated. However, not only were they unable to pinpoint Caleb's position, but Caleb was making frequent phone calls to check how the handover was progressing. They made excuses, saying that the negotiations were encountering difficulties, but it probably wouldn't be long before Caleb's patience snapped. When that happened, there would be war. Before that happened, the occupying forces would have to eliminate Caleb. The Caleb family was like a balloon filled to bursting with the gas of discontent. If Caleb was eliminated, it would pop and disappear like a soap bubble. However, if you pop a bubble, the spray will always cover everything around it. The problem was who they could get to pop that bubble. Oh no, no, no. No, 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 no. Butler, don't, no. If they're gonna do what I think they are, I'm gonna be so. I'm already mad, and it hasn't happened yet. Okay. Maybe everything will be fine. Yeah, let's believe in the heart of the butler. If I could have stopped Caleb's son sooner. You can't go back to the past. The best time is always right now. He's gonna do it, isn't he? He's. He gave us like 2 seconds of trust, right? Just immediately obliterated it. Oh my god. Already mad. Okay, focus. Yeah. Right now. I have to become a dragon. A dragon? Yeah. To save my countrymen, I intend to become a dragon. To take responsibility for my ideals, I must become a dragon. What does becoming a dragon mean? It means stopping Caleb's son with my own hands. I don't like that look he's got in his eyes. I don't like this. Are you firm in your resolve? Yes. Even if it means we end up killing each other. I don't like that look in his eyes. Butler didn't notice that there was something darker than what he knew in Rose's eyes. Of course, he hadn't thought that she would start talking about something like this. However, it wasn't hard to imagine that she had undergone many painful thoughts since the Caleb family took power. So, even hearing such savage words coming from her mouth didn't seem out of place to him. Though thinking about what she must be feeling struck him with a desire to just run away. Oh? His heart raced ruthlessly. No. The frigid abacus in his chest was calculating her current value to them. God damn it. Yeah, Rose is just like basically traumatized at this point. Hence the repetition, I think. It's not looking good. And this guy is about to make it worse. Unless something's done about Caleb, City 23 will be destroyed. Yes. Whether it's by peaceful methods or otherwise. Unless Caleb stopped, it's all over. I am prepared to do that. I see. You might be the only one who could do it, after all. Yes. Only I can do it. It was impossible for the American army to find Caleb, now that he had gone on the ground. Is it impossible, though? He could just try a little hard. I mean, come on. Come on. Ain't no way they can't find him at all. That's ridiculous. However, Rose could surely find him. Surely, even Caleb would show himself if Rose went. He does have a good point here in that Caleb has big time beef with Rose. To the point of, like, they literally sent out flyers just to get her to come to the docks. So, like, it would lure him out of hiding rather than them finding his hiding place. She's bait. Yeah, and a potential assassin. Oh boy. This is a fight between Japanese people to save our Japanese countrymen. And so, I must get my hands dirty. I got it. I see how firm your resolve is, Rose-chan. What do you need now? Tell me anything you need. I'll get it for you. I don't like that look in his eyes. This is to make up for being unable to help you at your lowest point. Ask for anything you like, and I'll get it right away. Then, a gun. Of course. And? A bomb. You want a grenade? Or dynamite? I'll get it for you, but we'll have to talk about how and where you're going to use it. Dynamite. I'll hide on my person, get close to Caleb-san, and blow him up along with myself. Rose, do you not remember last time? He wasn't there. He wasn't there. You would never have gotten a chance. Come on. See, I'm not the only one who's like, wait, what? Bro, that's the only way for me to take responsibility for raising my dragon and being unable to get my hands dirty. Give me a bomb, Captain. Because they got involved with my ideals, Wayne could, Claudia, and many more people have lost their lives. I have to take responsibility for that. I have to become a dragon. I have to become a dragon. Rose's pupils grew even more clouded by the curse of the dragon's tongue. That ghastly look made even Butler gulp. Yeah, Butler, now's the time to back off with this. Now's your chance to be like, maybe let's not. I guess, okay. That night, Rose was in a high-class apartment in the Newtown district. Newton? I'm gonna go with Newtown, because Americans, right? I honestly think that at this point, Butler's just gonna talk shop with her and just work out the details and just let her do it, because he's... I don't know, like, at this point, is he gonna back off? Probably not. Should he? Yeah. But I feel like at this point, he's just gonna go through with it. And I hate him for that. The large building had been used as a guest house for American officers visiting from the mainland. So the whole area was under the supervision of the American Army, and no unauthorized people could even approach it. These days, there could be no safer place for Rose in the city. Rose was lying down on the sofa. She had only planned to take a short nap, but it was already the middle of the night. At some point, a basket of bread, a bottle of mineral water, a handgun, and a large present box had been set on the table. There was even a message card from Butler. It said she could use this room however she liked. It didn't say anything about the present. Even so, She knew what was inside it. Inside, there were several sticks of dynamite and grenades. There was even a military vest that would make it easy to wear them on her person. With this much strapped to my body, I'll probably be able to massacre everyone within a radius of 10 meters. Of course, before a moment passed, she would probably become a red cloud in the center. But that's okay. That way, I'll finally be able to carry out my responsibility. When I actually touched it and felt its weight, my heart leapt once. With this, next time I'll definitely. As though to help harden the half-dried concrete of her determination to die, Rose quickly put the military vest on. Then, she attached the dynamite sticks to her vest, one after another. Is there like a detonator for this? I don't think that's how that works. I'm no expert, of course, but she could feel that she had become a walking weapon. No, a walking bomb. However, this way, she would surely be spotted no matter how she tried to hide it with a jacket. It would probably be best to carry them under her skirt. However, as she watched this unusual picture of herself reflected in the mirror, she could feel herself growing calmer, calmer, and calmer. Several people who trusted me died. I've got to stop Calebson. It's the only way I can take responsibility. Even though I've supposedly grown calm, even though my heart has stopped racing, my head has started throbbing like an alarm bell. The me in the mirror is starting to twist itself into some bizarre monster. It's not just the inside of the mirror. The mirror, the wall, the room, the ceiling, all of it began to twist. I've got to become a dragon, quickly. Rose, with her gentleness and her straightforwardness, her stubbornness, and her doubly strong sense of responsibility, was the type that could be influenced most deeply by the dragon's tongue. However, too many things had happened one after another. The feeling of responsibility she bore was becoming a monster ready to swallow her whole. That bizarre monster, puffed up by the mad vest filled with dynamite, was staring right at Rose from beyond the mirror. I've got to become a dragon. I've got to become a dragon. Because I've taken up a dragon's ideals, everyone's been sacrificed. I've got to take personal responsibility for taking up a dragon's ideals. Stop. I've got to. I've got to. Stop. Stop. I've got to become a dragon. I've got to become a dragon. All your cheap talk led to a lot of people dying. So you have to die too. A welcome break. I have to drink some water there. I'm gonna drink some more water. Is that coat some new fashion? With that sudden voice, the fog surrounding Rose's head cleared in an instant. It is a very Leo line, yo. Ah, thank goodness. If we can't trust Butler, at least we have Leo. Something tickled her nose. After all, that smell of tobacco was something that always surrounded him. Jesus Christ, Leo. Still, I'll take this over him not being there. That coat doesn't suit you. Next break I get, I'll pick you a new one. Leo-kun. A hot tear dripped from Rose's right eye. How long had he been there? He'd probably knocked several times. However, I was being swallowed by the beast inside and it didn't reach my ears. It's true, he always knows what to say. Leo was standing in front of Rose's eyes, closing the door behind him while giving a little sigh and smiling. Then, with a straightforward, bitter grin at Rose's violent and unsuitable outfit, he crushed his cigarette in a portable ashtray, which I imagine is just sitting on a table somewhere and not one he's been keeping with him because it's portable, like my initial thought. I don't know why that was my first thought, but yeah. There we have it. As she looked at his expression, several feelings that had been numbed in Rose were revived. I mean, that's why it's portable, right? Because you carry it with you. This is... yeah, no. It's a recipe for the disaster. Although... could be super convenient. Yeah, it does feel like it's just an ashtray. Are there non-portable ones? Most of them are portable because you can pick them up because they're, you know, light. Imagine, like, in some public areas they're bolted to the ground, so good luck with, you know, picking them up, but... You know what? If you try hard enough, anything is portable. Leo slowly stretched out his fingers and pulled out one of the dynamite sticks packed into Rose's chest pocket. Leo, what the fuck, man? This some new kind of lipstick? Still, it's a bit too big. The scent doesn't suit you either. Leo touched the end of the dynamite stick to Rose's lips. Even though it was just that, it felt extremely ticklish. And Rose made a sound without thinking about it. Be careful with that stuff though, I don't know. It's probably fine, right? But in movies it's like, oh, I dropped it, boom, you know? I'm assuming that's not correct because it's movies. Sorry for the constant asides. That was how far she had been paralyzed. Normal feelings and thoughts kept coming back to her. Why am I in a place like this? Why am I holding so much dynamite? Why am I preparing to die? If I don't at least die, how can I take responsibility? For what? Because of my cheap talk, so many people suffered. Because of me, Lincoln and Claudia they wouldn't die. No, they did die. Right in front of my eyes. What have I been doing? So much has happened. It might have made me different. They told me to come alone if I wanted Wayne and Claudia to live. So you decided to walk right into their trap. There was no time to hesitate. I didn't know what to do. I felt I had to do it, that I had to throw away my life. And then Wayne and Claudia came to save me, and for my sake. For my sake. And that's why you have to die? After all, everyone's lost their lives for my cheap talk. In that case, I've got to give up my life too. We aren't risking our lives because we want you to die. You being alive will accomplish something more than us being alive. Because we believe that, we can put our lives on the line. For my cheap talk? You think it can protect our countrymen and guide them? That's right. For your cheap talk. Simple, cheap talk, which would die a useless death if left only to words. Even though I have to do something, I don't know what it is. What that is, even I realize it's nothing but cheap talk if all you do is talk about it. I realize that I have to take the lead and dirty my own hands if I want to save my countrymen. So I have to do this. I can't think of any other way to take responsibility. No. There's a way. What way? It's true that you have to be prepared to get your hands dirty if you want to make your cheap talk a reality. You can't protect any country or anyone's freedom without the resolve to dirty your hands. For example, let's imagine that we're on a big, oar-driven boat called Japan. Someone's got to row those oars and get blisters on their hands. That's what it means to dirty your hands. However, no matter how powerfully they row those oars at random, they'll never get anywhere. If you move at random, you might wander, lost in the ocean, or you might hit a rock and sink. We have the strength to row those oars. However, we don't know how to use a map and compass. We're not even close to seeing which direction we should be moving the boat in. Also, thank you for confirming that the dynamite is not dangerous. That's a relief. But you can see it. Your heart will be our telescope, showing us the way to a future we can't see. And you're saying that's what cheap talk is? That's not it. I'm talking about the destination our boat is heading towards. If we float around a misty ocean with no destination, that's the same as being adrift. However, if the captain assures the crew that there's a destination beyond that fog, they can pluck up their courage. Do you see now? Rowing oars isn't the only way to get your hands dirty. Becoming the captain, standing at the head and leading the crew of rowers is also an important job. You just have to show us the way. We'll row the boat in that direction. At first, it might look like you aren't getting your own hands dirty. But that's wrong. You'll be our captain and order us to dirty our hands. And by ordering many rowers to dirty their hands, you'll be dirtying your own hands more than anyone else. I had it wrong, didn't I? I thought the madam had to try harder than anyone else to take on the dirty jobs herself. I had it wrong, didn't I? Your spirit wasn't wrong. You just mistook what it meant to get your hands dirty. This is the same as the military. 100 violent people on their own are no better than bandits. However, when they're commanded by a single leader who has earned their trust, their power becomes many times greater, and it becomes possible for them to perform a just service. I don't need to explain anymore, right? Yeah. All of us. Richard, Cyrus, and of course me and Dwayne. Claudia, Stella, and Meryl too. Every last one of us has considered you to be the most fitting person to be our captain. And we've acknowledged you as the madam. And yet, I've misunderstood what the captain's job is. That's right. The captain's job is to stay in the captain's room and look at maps and compasses. But instead, you let that go undone and started wiping the deck. Cleaning is a job for us low-level sailors. You have a job as the captain, a job that only you can do. Yeah. I understand now. However, when I saw Wayne and Claudia lose their lives, I wanted to lose the same thing. If I didn't, my heart would be crushed. That is the captain's heavy burden. That's you getting your hands dirty. Even so, you've got to hold your head up high. The captain has to keep looking only towards their destination. And I was trying to take the easy way out and abandon that duty. There's no helping it. Primavera isn't the military. It's not like you went through any training or classroom learning when you became madam. But maybe I did. I seem to remember Amanda-san telling me strictly and repeatedly that the madam should be ruthless and heartless. That the madam must not act friendly with the common people. I thought that I was just in charge of taking care of people, sort of like being a class president. I may be their representative, but there was certainly nothing grandiose about my position. So, thinking that, I'd only listened to half of what she was trying to tell me about the rules of being madam. Being the madam is a very lonely and heavy job. By now, I can finally see part of that. Now, sure I can understand. I can understand those duties of the madam that Amanda-san spoke of. My eyes grew hot. Warm tears dripped from them, one after another. What a foolish madam I was. I didn't need to take responsibility for saying all that cheap talk. I needed to take responsibility for calling my words cheap talk. This time, I need to bear responsibility for my ideals. For some reason, when I was listening to Meiji-san talk about dragons, I started to feel that I had to take that responsibility by my own hands. I won't misunderstand anymore. I won't misunderstand what it is Wayne-kun and Claudia entrusted me with. Thank you, Leo-kun. Wearing something like this, I must really be an idiot. You got that right. It's scary as hell. Also, I'm sorry. I tried to read it, but in the process of reading it, I just... oh my god. I'm pretty sure she's still wearing it. Also, my family code forbids me from trying to pick up chicks with dynamite strapped to them. You can't even smoke when I'm like this, can you? Leo was stubbornly chewing an unlit cigarette. Rose giggled and sat down on the bed. The soft feel of it spread throughout her whole body. It felt as though it was cleaning the curse that had enveloped her. Oh, Leo. His family code, holy shit. Leo-kun, tell me something. What should I do? I won't misunderstand my resolution and beliefs as the madam anymore, but I don't know what I should start by doing. You might want to tell everyone you've reached that decision. Then you could ask whether they're willing to entrust their lives to you. Didn't Wayne-kun say it all the time? That he could throw away his life for me. He did. Even though I was entrusted with something that important. I was so thoughtless. I'm sorry, Wayne-kun. If Wayne's actions spurred you on into finding your resolve as the madam, I'm sure we must be celebrating. Wayne's another one who'd rather be thanked than apologized to. Yeah, you're right. But whatever you're going to do, let's leave that until tomorrow. For now, your first job is to take off this badly fitting coat. Leo leaned over and undid the belt and buttons on Rose's military vest. When her arms slipped out of the sleeves, the menacing vest fell to the bed with a thunk. My shoulders felt unbelievably light. It's not just the weight of the dynamite and the vest that are gone. It's many more things besides. Thank you, Leo-kun. If you hadn't come, I would have died alone, without understanding anything. So, you were planning to make a raid with dynamite strapped all over your body and that handgun in your hand. With my clumsy shooting arm, which would... Oh no, wait. Inflection, hold on. With my clumsy shooting arm, which you only got to train a little. Huh? When the fingers that had removed the vest touched the ribbon on her chest, Rose's body shook. He was very intent on the picking up part, I guess. Don't tell me you were planning to sleep in a formal outfit like this, right? Well, I wasn't, but... Well, that came out of nowhere. Without hesitation, Leo's fingers undid the strings of her corset. Then, his hands covered her shoulders. Those hands were big and hot, and just the touch of them felt as though it would burn her. Do I need to, like, look away? Because I'm too young for this. Leo-kun. Go away! Leo's hands spread the shoulders of Rose's clothes. What? What does that mean? And slowly brought them down. Then, still holding Rose's thin arms, he slowly pushed her down onto the soft futon. Cut away, please. Thank you. Leo-kun, wait, they did not cut away. Yukishi, please. Why did you do this to me? With the freaking Umineko music in the background, don't think I didn't notice. What are you doing to me? And me alone, personally? You're expecting Butler to butt in? I think Butler might have had a hand in getting Leo here, I'll be honest. Cause like how did Leo get here? I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. Ugh. Okay, fine. Jesus Christ. I do this to myself. I know this. I'm aware of this. Still, again, I don't know what's coming up in this story, so there's gonna be times where I'm like, wait, huh? I don't want to say that out loud. Because, that's uncomfortable. And this is one of those occasions, so I'm rambling to stall for time. Thank you for noticing. He's gonna make me say it, isn't he? Glad to assist. Yeah, thanks. If this turns into like a full-blown like, I'm gonna skip. I'm sorry, but there's no way I'm gonna be able to put that on YouTube anyway. Nobody has to know. I'll just cut. Light novel incoming. Oh god. Ugh. This is such a weird word, like, genuinely such a weird word choice. Can we just linger on that for a second? Like, this is not expressive? This is the kind of writing that you read in those like Harlequin novels, I think they're called, right? With like the overly rendered people that are sort of usually in like random, like wrapped in random sheets on the front, you know, on the covers. I don't know how to describe it. Have you ever considered a career in writing visual novels or Harlequin novels? I think you'd be really good at it. I'm just gonna get it over with. The more I linger on it, the worse it's gonna get. I'm just gonna steamroll through. Appropriate guess, given the context. You should definitely consider it. Big money in that, I hear. Her sweaty, steaming chest was exposed to the air, and the smell of her own sweat made Rose's face turn red. However, with Leo holding her arms, she couldn't resist. I hope that means that because he's like holding her and she likes it, rather than he's holding her and keeping her from moving without, so she cannot resist. Let's go with like... I'm just gonna reread that and like put a positive spin on it for my own sanity. However, with Leo holding her arms, she couldn't resist. Leo slowly brought his face closer to Rose. Yeah, normally you start with that, Leo. I take it back, that's not what we start with. Then, whispered into her ear. When I was teaching you how to shoot, We made a promise. Yes. You swore you wouldn't find alone. But wasn't that a joke? A joke? I wouldn't sleep with you for a joke. And this time, I'll make you truly mine. Cut away! Thank you. Nope. No, we're still going. My heart was racing, my head was spinning, and I didn't know what was going on anymore. But for some reason, fear was the one thing I didn't feel. Because Leo's painfully strong arms held me so that my heart would never get lost again. Cut away! Yes! We did it! Oh my god. I'm sorry, I just really struggle with reading stuff like that. Especially out loud. Especially with an audience. Like, even on my own, I'd be like, ugh. We did it. We lived. But am I understanding right that this would be like the second time then that they sleep together? Because it kind of felt like this. He was like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that for a joke," you know. So then the implication is that that wouldn't be the first time. Because then he's like, "Well, this time." Yeah, last time it was just a kiss on the cheek that was described. I think, unless I forgot. I might have forgot. That was a while ago. But good for them, I guess. But he said, I wouldn't do this, and then this time I'm gonna, so that would imply second time. I guess we'll never know. Unless I watch some VODs back and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, it was implied, you know, that kind of thing. Who knows? Okay, I'm gonna take a little quick second. I'm gonna make some content warnings for the YouTube video. Not so much the awkward whatever the heck just happened, but more Rose's state of mind beforehand. I think it needs a warning. And I am out of water, so I will be right back because you inspired me to take a hydration break. Be right back. Alright. Welcome back. We are back. Yeah. I forget what I say when I return from a break. But it's words. We all love words. Okay, I'm just gonna set some stuff up for when I take a break. It really was, I fully ran out of water. And I also opened the door for a bit so I can let some cooler air in. Because it's still pretty warm in here, but very manageable. I won't complain. You got water? You got water and wine? Nice. Is that a saying in English, putting water with your wine? Like adding water to the wine. That's a saying in Dutch. I think it means like making concessions. Yeah, that makes way more sense, but... Yeah, Here's if you say I'm gonna add water to the wine, it means like you're compromising or something along those lines. That's why. I don't know why that's even a thing, but is that good if you do that? If you mix those? Oh. Alrighty, well, enjoy. I'm gonna stick to water. But like, I love water. It's great. I literally only drink water and coffee for the most part. Rarely drink anything else. Oh yeah, then making it a bit sweeter would be good. Yeah, makes sense. Hell yeah, same. Sorry, just doing my stretches. I'm just trying to loosen up a little, and from the corner of my eye, I just see my avatar going like, "Whoa." Yeah, it's good to hydrate for so many reasons. Yeah, I'm wobbly as fuck today. Look at me. It's It looks more impressive with the avatar than it is in real life because he bends in ways that people can't. And yeah, I will try not to turn into a, what was it, a crimson cloud? Though if I could do that at will, that would be impressive as fuck. Not super useful, I don't think, but I mean, I never need to open a door again. Kinda handy. Yeah. We never need to pay for tickets to go anywhere because you can just, you know, breeze on in. If there's like a storm outside, you'd be fucked though. I really shouldn't take this hypothetical as so seriously, but here we are. Sorry about that. Back to the reading. Back to the reading. Reading mindset. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. You would just end up all over the place. That would be super inconvenient. Like any kind of stiff breeze would just ruin your day. Travel in a box, but that ruins the purpose of being like a cloud. As a puddle, now we're talking. Because then you could just roll along on the ground. But any cracks in there, you're gonna lose parts of yourself. So I guess I'll just stick to this like squishy human form. It's the most convenient, I think. I like having thumbs, I guess. Now that I really think about it. Hope it doesn't get too hot. Yeah, you just fucking evaporate. Oh no. I guess human it is. The ultimate life form. But only if compared to a puddle or a cloud. Yeah, you're right. Oh boy. It is really warm in here, and I'm gonna blame that for the weird thought experiment we just did. Because it's, yeah, for the tangent. Because it's still 24 degrees in my room. Yay. Love it when no heat waves. But still 24 degrees in my room. Alright. Okay. Tangent over for realsies this time. Yes. Hello. Sorry to call so late. Wonderful, Butler. Thanks to you calling me before the day is out. Peace will reign in City 23 for another night. Is this what Caleb sounded like? I feel like I'm doing it wrong. I feel like it was gruffer. I'll try to fix it. How many times do I have to tell you not to threaten me before you'll understand? Or is my Japanese worse than I think? Won't you tell me how I can explain this to you? Don't get the wrong idea, Butler. Ah, there we go. That was him. I'm not threatening you. I just want us to pray together for peace and safety in City 23, as fellow residents. The city is filled with people crazier than Alfred. There are men all over possessed by the ghosts of the time we called you the vicious Americans and British. I've been keeping an eye out and keeping them in line, but something might happen that makes them start hunting American citizens from bell towers? Or a reckless truck driver might run over a good American family. That's a relief. So, thanks to you, we don't have to deal with tragedies like that. Exactly. I'm working in my own way to prevent needless blood from being shed in this city. Caleb continued to threaten calmly from the other end of the phone call. He had no time. He had gathered that $100 million by force, saying that everyone's lives would change if they did so. Unless the occupying forces made some sort of visible move, even Caleb wouldn't be able to wipe away the discontent from the lower ranks. Butler listened closely to this, paying attention to what hid behind Caleb's tone. The higher-ups had already given the order to assassinate Caleb. Even if Caleb piled up another $100 million or $200 million, they had already decided not to deal with him. The order given to Butler was to deal with the Caleb problem before he stirred up trouble. However, since the failed sniping the other day, Caleb had gone into hiding and never appeared in public. Caleb was demanding that they decide on a fixed date when the Americans would show the outcome of their deal in some tangible way. And he was also making a threat, saying that it would be difficult to prevent the outbreak of several unfortunate accidents or crimes if they didn't comply. Butler wanted to find some way to take Caleb out of the picture. He was buying time to do that. Caleb, on the other hand, wanted to show off the results of his efforts in some visible way as soon as possible. After all, his biggest failure, which he now recognized, was inspiring his underlings too much with the idea that results would appear immediately after gathering $100 million. Butler wanted to halt Caleb's impending rampage, whatever the cost. Caleb wanted to achieve some sort of result while he still had the power to hold men together. The two goals were countering each other. The two goals were countering each other from either side of the phone line. Their execs say they'd like to meet with you soon. We'll work to make that happen as fast as reasonably possible, so do you take that as a sign of our sincerity? It was a complete fabrication. They had never made any accommodations for Caleb. Please realize that I've been stuck in a meeting until this late precisely because of the efforts we're making. They might not resist giving up what they have to Americans, but they didn't realize they'd be handing it over to Asians. Well, you see, just like the Japanese talked about the vicious Americans and British, the people back in the States used to call their enemies uncivilized barbarians and so on. If you want to see whether we're civilized or not, all you have to do is meet with me. I can talk money like a civilized person, or I can talk with strength like an uncivilized one. Which attitude I take is all up to you. I'm hoping for this matter to be resolved in a prompt and gentlemanly fashion. I'm a gentleman. So are you. Then we should be able to settle this matter peacefully. I just added some words there that were not in the sentence. Oops. Caleb acted calm. However, on the inside, the unexpected delays were making him frantic enough to want to scratch at his own body. Even though both sides were in an explosive situation, neither one of them admitted it. I'll contact you as soon as they finalize their schedule. I promise to do that by this weekend. That's all for now. Good night, Caleb. Butler set the receiver down. It was in a small conference room. In that room were several high-ranking officers, sighing deeply. Is it really okay to make a promise like that? We're buying time. If we talk to him through substitutes and interpreters, we should be able to buy a bit more. We were planning to use that time to do something about Caleb. Captain, according to you, we plan to encourage some powerful leaders within the Caleb family to defect and assassinate him. At any rate, we're in trouble. If this gets too big and the GHQ hears about it, everyone in this room will lose their heads. If only we didn't fail to finish him off back then. This is all your responsibility, Captain. Calm down, everyone. No need to get so fired up. You can't have a fox hunt unless you spur on a talented hound. Fox hunting has nothing to do with humans hunting foxes. It's a sport where humans release the hounds, follow along on horses, and watch the spectacle. The actual hunting is carried out by the hounds. The humans are only spectators. The fact that they don't dirty their hands with the blood of beasts is what makes this a noble sport. Debatable, but I see. Do you have a hound in mind? But of course. Please leave everything to your humble Philip Butler, gentlemen. I forgot his name was Philip. That's a Conservative Party line in the UK? Yeah, that does not surprise me. I'll take care of everything so that one day you can all make your triumphant return home with a proud, spotless record. Corruption, bribery, breach of trust, and embezzlement that would bring shame to the American army. As long as I'm around, I'll see to it that such unspeakably slanderous lies never attach themselves to you. Have no fear. The officers looked away uncomfortably, coughing and smoking and acting as though he was talking about someone else. Please leave it all to me, everyone. And for your sakes as well, I ask that you lend me your assistance. Was I wrong about him helping Leo get to Rose? Oh god, there better not be cringe pillow talk. Right? But I was thinking, because he said he had a hound in mind, which most likely is Rose, but then why would he let Leo sneak by? Because Leo's likely going to stop her from doing what Butler would want her to do. So, not sure what to make of that. Hounds work in packs. Good point. Good point. could all be part of his grand plan. I guess we'll find out. Weren't you a lady of the evening?
Well, I always worked with administrative matters.
Rose laughed embarrassedly, clutching at her blanket. Leo stood up and made to light his cigarette, but smiled grimly and stopped.
What you said about captains made it really easy to understand.
Well, talking like that used to be my job, more or less.
Your job?
During the war. I went to a certain country far to the south.
Yeah.
It was a pitiable country. For hundreds of years since the time of the East India Company, that country was a colony of a foreign nation. In the 16th century, during the Age of Exploration, the great nations of the world used the limits of their technology to make colonies out of undeveloped countries, expanding their territory. Until World War II, nearly all of Asia was filled with colonies of those great powers. This southern nation had also been turned into a colony in that era, and over 200 years had passed since then. With the 1960 United Nations Resolution, Declaration on the Granting of Independence to Colonial Countries and Peoples, one could say that colonialism was denounced by worldwide consent. However, during the centuries leading up to that, humanity had, practically speaking, acknowledged a country's right to make colonies of other countries. They had fought bravely several times before, trying to gain independence. However, bravery alone isn't enough to win a fight.
They didn't have any weapons?
The problem was even more basic than that. The people of that colony had no chance to learn the necessary skills. Even if they had a limitless passion for independence, they had no chance to learn how to shoot a gun, much less lead a battle. And they even had no way to learn how to manage their country after achieving independence. It goes without saying that the ruling country had no reason to teach them these skills. My job was to teach them how to protect their country. They gathered a large number of passionate young people. Leo's group had taught them all the techniques and attitudes needed to protect their home. Beneath the blazing sun and blue skies, they kept undergoing strict training to take back their country by their own hands. They stuck through the most unpleasant drills, never losing their determined gaze towards their big dreams. Then, sometimes, they would sit in a circle under a tree and talk excitedly the shining future they'd have once they regained their nation's pride. Every last one of them was young and good. They all felt pride for their homeland. They burned with enthusiasm at the thought that they might be able to reclaim the national identity they'd lost for over 200 years. To a young Leo, those young people must have shone so brightly. Leo had made an oath with them. When the time came for them to fight for their homeland's independence, he would fight alongside them. Leo had proudly stated that this was why the Japanese army had come. To free Asia from colonial rule. That was our country's just cause. But was that really true, or was it just propaganda to spur us on? We don't know. And then, on April 1st, 1944, a violent natural disaster broke out across the Japanese island chain. The war came to a sudden end. Even Leo's group was ordered to disarm immediately and return home. After that, troops from the country that had ruled this colony would land again as part of the Allied forces. To a young Leo, it sounded like they were being forced to abandon these people. The hallway yeller is back. The hallway yeller is back, and I could see from my the indicator that tells you if there's sound, right? I could see that it was picking up on it. Fun fact, this person yells in the hallway frequently, also during the last stream we did. And also stands outside on the balcony on hot days when everybody has their windows open and yells at like 1, 2 a.m. This person's housemates, I don't understand how they never are like, hey, can you stop yelling, please? But maybe they're scared because this person's always yelling. You couldn't hear them? That's good. It was probably being drowned out by the music. Yeah, I don't know how you can be like that high tension all the time. That's gonna kill you, right? Like, I don't even have it in me to yell to begin with. I can imagine what it's like if you live your life in a way where you yell daily. Unless you're in a heavy metal band. But surely you don't do that for casual phone calls, you know? Like, come on. I think they left though, so that's good. Because sometimes the yelling goes on for about half an hour. Sometimes longer than that. Maybe I should try to yell more, but I'm physically incapable, so... Like, I literally cannot raise my voice that much. Once I level up and unlock that ability, though, I'm gonna yell all the time. I will never stop yelling. I will be the next hallway yeller. AI could do it for me? I haven't really heard AI convincingly yell yet. Because the algorithms smooth everything out. Like, you can't even talk with like a grainy, like, you know, like grit in your voice. AI will just smooth that right out. So I don't think AI can like yell. They can make it sound as if they're raising their voice, yes. That's like a cadence thing, right? One day we'll have truly expressive AI, we're gonna use it exclusively to yell at people. Yeah, they all sound dull, boring, and flat. And it's literally just because everything just gets smoothed out. Like any kind of grittiness in someone's voice gets smoothed right out. So yeah, technology is not there yet, and I don't think that's a bad thing. AI should sound dull and boring. This is a good thing. One day technology will deliver us a yelling Sam. I think that's just gonna be like vocal training, honestly. I think this is one of those things where I'm gonna actually have to put in the effort. And put in the work. And I hate that. I hate it. I hate having to put in effort. Yeah, no, there will never be an AI unless someone else runs my voice through an AI system, in which case I will sue you. Okay? I will, and I can't afford a lawyer, thank you. So, if you're considering doing that, think again. You know what? That's not a bad idea, just practicing, like, the system of a downside. Yeah, no, my point is, if you train an AI model on my YouTube videos, fucking stop. I do not give anyone permission to do that, and I will go after you if you do. And I'm actually dead serious about that. Obviously no one's gonna do that, because why on earth would you? Why on God's flat earth would you? What is wrong with you? If you do it privately and never release it to the public, I won't know about it, so I can't come after you. Or will I? Do you really want to take that risk? I don't think you do. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of AI, so no. No AI stuff for me. No AI stuff involving me. I mean, okay, that's the thing, right? Because the person who did the voice for Siri, right, they never got paid by Apple. Never got paid for that. They just bought the voice bank, and the voice actor already did the work for that, so they did not get paid for that voice bank being bought, because that was already like a done and done exchange, right? They did not get paid by Apple at any point. Exactly, with how much that voice is being used, they should never run out of money. But no, they did not get paid for that by Apple. They got paid for, like, doing some voice work for the database that was sold to Apple, yeah. But they should have made the big bucks with it, and they absolutely did not. And there's more people like that. And I'm pretty sure they started using, like, AI voices in public transport announcements here, because you can tell the difference. You can tell that they kind of cobbled together new words and stuff that were not in the original voice bank, right? Which means that the person who did the original voice did not get paid for it. Yeah, you should have a Unity model for voice acting. And it would make way more sense than the Unity model makes for Unity. And I hope that this joke makes no sense to you, because that would mean that they backpedaled on it, and I hope they do. But, it's not looking good, guys. Anyway. Okay, this tangent is going on too long, but yeah, they haven't backpedaled yet. I just got, I don't know, the hallway yeller just completely took me out of it. And then I got spurred on by my hatred for AI stuff, so oops. You poked the bear. And the bear was like, yo, sup? And then the bear went on a ramble. And the bear was me the whole time. Okay, I'll get back to reading now, that's why I'm here. Yeah, same. The idea of AI isn't bad, how people are using it, trash. For the most part. To a young Leo, it sounded like they were being forced to abandon these people who were so enthusiastic about winning their independence. It sounded like they were being forced to abandon these people who were so enthusiastic about winning their independence. I did not like how I read that the first time, so I did it again. Later on, the ship taking him back hit a mine and sank. Leo drifted to a certain island, was captured by the Allied forces, and spent 3 years in a prison camp. In that prison camp, he had been given a historical re-education from the point of view of the Allied forces. Ugh. Of course, I'd never accepted the enemy's words blindly. Still, a lot of the things they said fit. We soldiers departed with the just cause of freeing Asia in our hearts. Then, we talked about it with the young people in that country, sweating together and talking about the future. But it's possible that our higher-ups, even Leo, as a low-ranking officer, had seen a lot of things that weren't pretty. While he was a single cog in the army, he had never questioned it particularly. However, looking back now, he wasn't at all confident that their high-ranking officers really had an honest desire to free those people. It pained him to the point of agony, and he passed several sleepless nights filled with a confused anger and sadness. Then, when he reached his 3rd year in the prison camp, a dullness grew in Leo's once young eyes, as though he'd reached a philosophical understanding, or had just gotten old. Everything is pointless. When I think about talking with them under that blue sky, it makes me want to claw at my head. Their innocent eyes and smiles are now my worst nightmare, tormenting me. I came back to Japan and read a newspaper in the repatriation office.
Did it say something about that southern country?
Yeah. Even though he'd given up on everything and thought he'd forgotten about it, that country was mentioned there. He had thought their cheap talk would disappear like bubbles, and the original colonists would have returned after 3 years and scattered his former pupils. However, he was wrong. They were forming volunteer armies all over the country and rising up. The day for their real battle had already arrived while Leo was despairing in that prison camp. Right now, they're forming volunteer armies all over that country, fighting for their independence. They sweat and trained, dreaming of that day. Even though Leo had sworn to be with them on that day, he had done nothing but lazily wander around this unrecognizable Tokyo. When he looked up into the sunlight and felt his mind slip into the distance, he always remembered their faces. When the day to fight comes, I'll take a gun and fight with you, even though we were born in different countries. Even though we all swore that to each other, standing side by side and talking of the future. Even though I supposedly have nothing to do with that country anymore. However, that part of me makes me so angry. We went there to save them. And right now, I should go fight with them. Go shed my blood with them. It's nothing to do with me. I don't care. But the more I think that, the harder it is to forget their earnest gazes.
Leo-kun.
Rose finally understood Leo's war. Fighting with them and achieving independence. That was his war.
It'll be all right. They're your students, aren't they? I'm sure their passion will pave the way to the future.
Passion alone won't change the military situation. The enemy has a regular army, 120,000 strong. It seems they're resisting with guerrilla warfare, but the enemy is fighting all out. Nearly all the major cities, including the capital, have fallen. There's no hope left. Even though now is the promised time when we should be fighting together. Surely that's what Leo wanted to say. Rose understood Leo's feelings painfully well. Right now, Leo's war was continuing in that country to the distant south, and his old friends were fighting a difficult fight. I don't want to abandon friends I've sworn to fight alongside. Never again. So, I don't want to break my promise to fight for Primavera. Because of that, I'll fight by your side until the end. That, I promise you.
Thank you, Leo-kun. I feel as though I've learned a lot from you today. I know I'll be able to fight till the end, to guide my countrymen as one of your pupils. So, when you've finished fighting with me, go and end your war.
Rose.
I'll keep waiting for you. By the time you come back, your homeland will be reborn into one you can become fond of. I can do it. Because tonight, you've given me the strength.
I might have gotten something too.
What's that?
The power to live, maybe. You've shown me how to spend this life of mine.
Leo-kun, lend me your strength for our countrymen. To save this city, we have to get our hands dirty.
Yeah. Eventually, the night will end.
Yeah.
And when the dawn comes, that'll mark the start of new days. For you and Primavera. The two of them stayed awake until dawn came. They talked about all sorts of things, and saw the dawn of a new Primavera seep in through the window. The dark sky changed from a deep purple to an autumnal crimson, before becoming a heavenly gold. Even though ladies of the evening should be sick and tired of seeing the sunrise, that beautiful rising sun made the tears in Rose's eyes glitter like diamonds. Then, Rose stood up and stretched out her hand. The hand reached for the telephone. I don't think room service is up yet. Room service is up yet. Enunciation is difficult.
No, that's not it. There's one more person I really want to show my resolve to. Second only to you.
Do you know the number?
Yeah. I got it the other day.
What number did she get the other day? No way. That's bold, Rose. Inside a beat-up office where you could hear the waves, there wasn't a sound to be heard except for Caleb's yawn. No matter how much wealth he amassed and how many hotel suites he switched between, he insisted that there was no bed better than this worn-out sofa. Miguel was also wrapped in a blanket, lying down beneath a desk. However, he noticed something approaching, and with a reaction like a wild animal, he pulled out his gun and looked outside. They were roommates! It was one of Miguel's underlings. He seemed to be unusually flustered considering the time, with the sun just barely rising into the sky. Miguel quietly left the office so as not to wake Caleb. Then he heard the report, and even he was surprised. What? What's going on?
Sorry to bother you so early in the morning. They say there's a phone call for you.
Ooh. What time do you think it is?
And it's from Rose.
What does she want?
I don't know. She's saying she won't talk to anyone but you.
Well, why not?
If you pick up the phone, they might be able to figure out where you are. We should call her back from here.
But how does Rose know this number?
Because we gave her the number when we went to Primavera.
I see. So she thought it was the only number she could use to talk to me.
Will you answer?
Even if it's a person I want to kill. It's not my style to keep a woman waiting. In the administrative offices, bodyguards under Miguel's command were nervously holding the receiver. Let me be alone. Everyone out.
Yes, Father. I forgot they make him call him Dad.
I mean, Father. I totally forgot about that. Every time someone calls him Father, that just hits me like a slap in the face, you know? He's making people call him Dad. Daddy Caleb, ooh. Oh my god. Well, I've said worse things this episode, let's be real. We've hit rock bottom, and we can only go up from here. I really shouldn't say that so confidently because that could have been... all of it could have been so much worse. Yes, it is worse. Yes. Yes, it is worse. Yes. Yes, it is worse. Yes. It is worse. It's worse.
Wake up everyone who's sleeping. This might be a trap to pinpoint the father's location and attack.
Butler bingo is worse. But only a little bit, and mainly because of the repetition factor. It's definitely not far off. There's overlap, I would say. We cannot do a tier list because I don't have to say them out loud. And I refuse. So. But we're looking at like S tier versus A tier. Or like S versus SS, you know. So. But it's bad. Also, I didn't know that they had like location pinpointing based on phone calls at this time. My god, SS plus tier. I mean, yeah. It fits. Also, I mean, they've been hanging... They didn't put Rose on hold or anything or hang up the call, so... all this is all taking a really long time, so giving them a lot of time to like pinpoint location if they're trying that. But I imagine that would take a really long time, right? Like phone line GPS. Well, it might be that there might be like registration stuff for phones, right? So then you could... wouldn't you just need the number? You wouldn't need the line to be active for that, surely. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll go do a little deep dive into that and see if anything pops up. If I do check out the description for the fun fact section, I mean, yeah, but then, yeah, then you wouldn't need the line to be active though, right? Because you have the number, and that's unchanging, and that's like just on the papers. Although, I mean, this is a hideout, so they probably faked the registration somehow. So that wouldn't necessarily get you anywhere. But there would be registration for calls and stuff. I don't know how that would, like, tie to locations and stuff. I will look it up and let you know in the description if I find anything. If there's nothing there, I didn't find anything. But keep in mind, this is an alternate history thing, so who knows. This might be a trap to pinpoint the father's location and attack. Gather the Night Watch. And get all the cars started. Get Caleb's car here too. Quite the scene we have here. And all from a single phone call from a woman. After a big yawn, Caleb calmly took the receiver. Hey, Rose. It seems terrible luck is something we share. You tried and failed to kill me, and I tried and failed to kill you.
Caleb-san. Until now, I misunderstood what it meant to protect people. I thought it meant hugging the weak and using your back to protect them from the misfortune that falls on them. That's wrong. That's not what it means to truly protect someone.
Rose's voice, which he hadn't heard for a long time, was unbelievably calm compared to how it had been. Caleb understood. Just like him, Rose had resolved herself to do something. That's right. Protecting your friends on the battlefield doesn't mean stopping bullets with your back. You protect by getting your hands dirty and killing the enemies that are trying to kill your friends.
I've been turning my back from the resolve needed to dirty one's hands in order to protect.
That's why you can't protect anyone.
Yes. Without the determination to get your own hands dirty, you can't protect a single person. That's why, this time, I'll fight to protect my fellow countrymen. I will stop you. Even if it means staining these hands with your blood.
Oh. Perfect. You're sounding more and more like my dead wife. What the fuck, Caleb? You freak. What the fuck, Caleb?
Caleb-san. Primavera is making a proclamation of war against the Caleb family.
Very well. We'll accept that challenge.
If possible, please surrender.
Don't be an idiot. That's something you say to someone when you've knocked them down and pointed a gun at their forehead.
I will bear all the responsibilities you're trying to bear. At some point, I would like to have a good, long talk with you. I want to discuss what sort of future we plan for our countrymen.
That doesn't sound bad. If we had the chance, I'd like to have a casual drink with you, too.
If you just surrender, we could do it right away.
You first. If you surrender, I'll be able to sleep in peace. A boat needs only one captain. One of us has to die.
So, you aren't going to surrender?
My apologies. This is the path we've chosen, right?
if you won't surrender, I will use these hands and this gun to shoot you to death.
Rose, that's a telephone. Oh, they were just doing that for dramatic effect. Okay. Okay. Don't shoot the telephone. It has done nothing wrong. The Wendy's. Oh. Alright, I think that makes for a very good stopping point. It's barely even a cliffhanger this time. So consider that a service from me. No cliffhanger for you this time. You're welcome. It is still kind of cliffhangery, and we still don't know what happened to Claudia and Wayne, if anything. I mean, no bodies means they could still be alive. I do pick my times, however, that's just the way that Rikishi writes these, I feel like. Because, it's either like... Because I'm not gonna stop in a scene, right? But all the scenes are like... leading to another tense moment, or leading to another tense moment, or leading to, like, it's just... And there's absolutely a lot of scenes with levity and stuff, but there's still the greater plot overarching the whole thing, so there's always more waiting in the wings. And that's... I think the pacing of all his writing is just so good that even if there's like levity scenes to kind of lighten things up, you still know that there's more coming up, more tension coming up, and that's also part of why he's such a good horror writer, is there's just, like, you know there's more coming. Like, there's like an almost threat of more scary things, more tense things, even if there is no scariness or tension at the current scene. I don't know how to describe it other than just... I don't know, it's like you kind of know what to expect in a way. You just don't know what's gonna happen or how, but you know that something's gonna happen, right? But yeah, this was a very clear, like, good sort of, you know, next sort of scene thing. Like, that was the end of the scene, you know? So now we can pause for a bit, continue next time. They're always very well telegraphed, which is good. Actually, with Iwaihime, which I've been having some trouble finishing. There's less of that, like, okay, now the scene's over, and now there's a tension shift, or like a tonal shift, or, you know, or we're gonna follow some different characters this time. It's all very... You pick an arc, and the tension and focal point of the arc is the same the whole time. And that makes it really tiring to read in comparison. Like, it's really hard to know when to pick breaks in comparison, so that's interesting. And that's why I'm kind of struggling with it, I think. It's good, don't get me wrong. It's just either it's really hard to read because it's exhausting and really scary, or I picked the wrong point to quit and then I kind of forget what happened in the meantime, and it's rough. I don't know if it went on sale for that, because I don't, well, because I own it. I do think it's good, but it has a very different sense of pacing, and I think that's on purpose, but that's also what makes it hard to read for me personally. Like, I think it's a conscious choice that the pacing is really intense. Or it's like it's a little too intense for me. But yeah, generally there's really tense scenes in his writing, and then there's tension relief, right? And then it escalates, or sometimes it escalates immediately, and then there's tension relief. Or it's like, oh, that's the end of the arc. But it kind of like... It keeps you reading, it keeps you going. but also builds in some calmer moments so you can be like, okay, well that was scary. And I think that makes the horror more effective, personally. So, I think I've said that exact same thing previously. It's 70% off right now, go buy it. And I'm sorry about the nightmares you will have. If you are very, if you have a very vivid imagination, try and pace yourself when you're reading this, because it gets really graphic in the descriptions, and some of the visuals are gross and really off-putting. And yeah, things are described with a lot of detail, a lot of gory detail. And I have aphantasia, so I'm good. I'm fine. Like, but there were scenes where I was like, this is gross. This is too intense. This is bad. This is too much. So, you know, look after yourself, basically. The usual. Take a break if you need it, that sort of thing. Because it gets intense, and it gets intense quick. Like, I think within the first hour or two of reading, you're gonna have like a good idea of what you can expect. In terms of intensity, not in terms of subject matter. Because yeah, you can expect gore, body horror, more body horror, more body horror, and there's some uncomfortable sexual situations. Nowhere, but honestly not to the level that it is in Rose Gun Stays, so that's a good comparison maybe. You just like to treat it as fantasy? Yeah, that's good, yeah. It's, yeah, I don't know what that's like for, like, if you... Yeah, Rose Gun Stays is absolutely light on the sexual content, but it's pretty much always geared towards, like, assault and stuff, right? Aside from today, when it wasn't, and we had, like, it was bonding between characters instead. Good for them. But there's usually, like, the threat of assault. It's usually the threat of assault. Right? And there's some of that in Iwahime, but to lesser of an extent. But there's also, like, in terms of sexual situations, there are less of them than in Rose Gun Stays. So, I mean, it is a game about teenagers, so you can expect a little bit of horny, but also nothing crazy, obviously. You'll need to find a different game for that. But just in terms of non-consensual stuff, there's some of that there. Hey, I have Raging Loop bookmarked somewhere. I have like a little list of all the games that you and other people have recommended to me, and it's in there, I'm pretty sure. Frankly, I already forgot the details, but I'll look it up. Yeah, so we're gonna continue next week with more Rose Gun Stays. Little reminder that my usual streams are on hold and might be permanently going away. I might be just benching those forever and switching to YouTube instead. But Rose Gun Stays nights, Thursday, those are gonna stay. I'll finish this game. What you live for? All. I mean, same. I'm always looking forward to Thursday when I'm streaming. You Fallout Brotherhood on your wish list? I have things on my wish list from like 2016 or something. It's wild. But yeah. Gonna be back next Thursday, just the usual. And that's the only thing we're gonna be doing streaming wise for the foreseeable future. And I'm okay with that. But keep an eye on the YouTube. I'll be doing I'm going to be doing a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough with my friends on there. So I'm just gonna be like edited, and I'm gonna put goofs in there, like little editing jokes. I've been putting a lot of effort in, and we may never finish this game, honestly, or maybe like in 2 years. No, we're not gonna stream it. It's all gonna be edited videos because I need to rein in the chaos a little, and we're mostly just playing for fun anyway. But they all graciously allowed me to record our playthroughs, so that's very nice of them. And now I get to use our friendship for content. Ugh. 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 I hate that I said that. That's also not really what's happening here. I just thought it would be fun. I like editing videos, it's great. Yeah, playing with friends I feel like takes even longer than playing alone. And it took me a long time to finish this game while I was playing alone. I have since, I have an insane amount of hours in this game. I finished it twice. I've almost finished with my third playthrough. And my first playthrough took 100 hours, so you do the math. You do the math. I also have 2 more playthroughs in progress, and I have 2 games with friends in progress, so you do the math. You keep picking stuff up and putting it in other people's backpacks? Oh my god. You got 400 hours logged up? Yeah. I'm over 300 at the moment, and I got the game on launch day. So, I know what that's like. I cannot stop playing, it's a problem. It's a good problem to have, though. It's such a good game. So I'm gonna go now and play that, or, well, edit my video on the game. Or, not, the video where I am playing the game with my friends. Like, it's not like I'm doing a review or something. Same. Starfield, I don't know what that is. Never heard of that. We don't talk about Starfield. One day AI will make editing a thing of the past. But I like editing. And I'm definitely gonna be better at it than a bot, okay? And I'm not good at editing, but I'll definitely do it better than an AI will, because I understand the concept of jokes. They're good with shorts? I don't believe you. They even add text? I mean, I've seen what the YouTube captions do to me talking. It's gibberish most of the time. And that's because I don't enunciate, alright? So I'm gonna do a better job at knowing what I say than a robot is, because I talk real bad. I'm not really winning this argument, am I? Anyway, bye. Yeah, I'm a control freak, so I'm always gonna be like, I'll do it myself, thanks. Yeah, you know, the AI will never win in my case. Alright, for real though, thank you so much for watching. I'm potentially gonna cut a whole lot of this out of the VOD. I might not. Who knows? Sometimes you like speed, that's fair. Alright. Yeah, we'll be back next week with another Rose Guns Days. And I'm gonna post the video as usual. And I'll see you then. See you next time. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. Have a good day, night, week, month, year, forever. See you next time. Bye-bye.